Hello and welcome to A Trip to the Movies, where each week a special guest takes us on their perfect night out at the cinema. This week, we're joined by a brilliant pair of filmmakers whose movie making began when they were just 13 years old and led to their award-winning Raka Raka YouTube channel. They've just directed their debut feature film horror movie, Talk to Me, which is already scaring up some devilishly good reviews ahead of its release at the end of the month. Here to tell us about all that and take us on their perfect night out at the movies, it's the brilliant Danny and Michael Philippou. Gentlemen, happy Sunday.
Yo!
Woo!
Hey, that was great.
Yeah, right. One of you was up all night watching UFC, but Danny, you went to bed at a reasonable hour, right?
No, I had to catch up on some script notes. So I was doing some script noting. He was working, I was watching UFC.
Hey, that's the life of a writer, right? You're always working while the director's just going, send me the notes in the morning.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, are we filming yet? Write it already. Don't watch the UFC, will you?
So listen, congratulations on the movie. The reviews have started to come in. Some are calling Talk to Me the best horror of the year, the scariest movie of the year. How are you feeling right now? Let me start with you, Michael.
It's disappointing. It's literally the best thing ever. We were so afraid of what people would think of the movie, and we didn't know how it would be received. So for it to be like get this kind of reception has been, it's like literally a dream to us. Like the dream outcome with every part of it has been like the perfect outcome, I think. So yeah, we're so happy. All the screenings we've been doing with all the people that come out, we're so thankful and just glad to be here.
Oh, that's cool. So you've had the chance to watch it with an audience now. That must be an exciting. The first time you do that must be kind of nerve-wracking, but obviously when you get the reactions, like nothing else in this world.
Yeah, the Sundance premiere when we premiered at because that was the first time it was being seen by critics and distributors and things like that. That was the most terrifying experience ever because you didn't know what it was, how it was going to be received. So it was so scary.
So, for those who don't know, it is a horror about demonic possession, but it takes a somewhat different route to what is kind of a well-worn genre. How challenging and then how exciting is it to find new ground in something audiences can be quite familiar with?
Yeah, it's always about just trying to modernize things and like base those tropes in today's generation and like trying to really analyze what would it be like if that was a thing right now. And like I have no doubt that people would be wanting to do it. People would be wanting to get possessed and people would be wanting to film it and upload it. So yeah, it felt unique and it felt right.
Yeah, so wait, are you saying that you think there's going to be a breakout of people going, let's try possession based on how exciting it looks at the start of your movie?
I think that like in general, if it did exist, people would be doing it for real and like wanting to do it. Yeah. And maybe not the opening scene, but maybe one of the scenes later on. A little montage sequence with the makeout scene.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends who are real die-hard horror aficionados and they found it terrifying. But Michael, I think you've described it as more of a drama with horror elements, whereas Danny, you've called it a full-blown horror. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to create some unnecessary sibling rivalry on a Sunday morning, but
there's so much of that already. We are rivals. We're really on the edge here, mate, and you're pushing it straight. And I would say this though, Michael didn't write the film, so what does he know? I think it was a thing like the way that we tackled it, especially with the music in certain scenes. It was the original score for certain bits was going to be more horror based, and then it changed to more emotional because I saw things more dramatic than horror. I saw the emotion in it as opposed to horror. I like that it's both genres, but I was just saying that to say like, hey, we're not ashamed that we made a horror film. Where it's like it sounded like you're like, oh, I'm not ashamed that we made a drama film, mate. With horror elements.
I mean, does it work creatively though? Like approaching things, because obviously you're co-directing the movie. Does it work creatively having like, perhaps a different way of looking at the same scene?
I think it was like we had the same overall vision in terms of like what we shot. It's the editing process that we kind of had to find our way through. Like when it came to editing, our poor editor, I had an edit of the film, Danny had an edit of the film, the editor had an editor of the film, So it was like mediate, like going through all of them. See which one tells the best, story in a cohesive way. And
one of the edits wasn't that good. I don't want to say which edit it was, but one of them was just
right. Is this visual, this interview? Because you're doing a lot of pointing in this direction.
It is, so everyone will be able to appreciate that moment. So yes. I think you've both talked about this, and I think it does it really well. It melds genres, so I guess perhaps this is where the drama, the horror, the comedy element comes from. I think you've mentioned previously Memories of Murder being an example of something that does that really well. Would that be right?
Yeah. The best movie. It's the greatest movie ever made. It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And the way, even the way it's shot and things like that, man. The first time I watched it, I didn't want to watch it again because I loved it that much. And I'm like, if I watch it again, I'm going to find some flaws in it or something. And then I watched it again. I was like, oh, it's even better. So good.
I mentioned at the
start.
The
way that they group, frame all those group shots and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old, these old westerns where it's like the shot changes, like starts as a close up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did mention at the start, Raka Raka, your YouTube channel, and how you've been making movies of some kind since you were like 13 years old. I think that was about the ballpark. So does it feel like you've been, learning the skills that you need to make this movie since then? Because obviously tonally, this is very different to your channel, but in terms of, just using the camera in different ways, space, light, all the rest of it, did all that come into play here?
Well, yeah, every single video we did was like building up to this moment. Like it was all just training and all just practice. So when it was time to make the feature film, it was like we've done so much thing to get our XP up. I feel like
people say that it's like our debut feature film, but we've got 25 years of experience. We're 5 years old with Dad's camera. We had a video series of we used to make so many different of our own movies. The Evil Flamingo, which was a ripoff of Chucky, had 8 films. So it's our 9th film, really.
So really, you're old hands at this. You've got franchises under your belt already.
Yeah, we've got many franchises.
I guess, was there a pinch yourself moment when you're on set and you're like, we're really finally here? Or there's work to be done? You don't really, once you're making a feature, by all accounts, have that moment to sort of take a step back and embrace it. Or did you?
Oh my, every single day I was like, what, how did we get here? Every day it was the most overstimulating experience. Like even the writing of it was so rewarding, and then casting and then pre-production and production, like every single step of the way was like, what, this is so amazing. Like it literally was a dream. Like, I was always constantly stepping back and admiring where we were and what we were doing. Like it's so magical making a film.
It's weird when you go on set because it's such a big, like compared to YouTube, it's like a unit alone, and there's like 15 trucks everywhere you rock up. It's like, man, I feel bad for the neighbors wherever. But it's like that's when I'd go, like you'd go every time you go to set and you'd see the setup, you're like, wow.
And we'd get together every single night with the heads of departments and all have slumber parties and watch movies and just talk and stuff. And it was seriously it was heaven. I loved it so much.
That's funny you say that, because I was going to ask. I've heard of horror directors with their cast. They'll give them a crash course in the kind of movies that perhaps have inspired, or the performances that you want to capture the same tone of. So they sit their cast down and go, have a watch of these. This is your homework. Do this, and then we can talk about what we want to bring to our film. Did you do that, or did the cast come prepared?
Well, yeah, pretty much. We sat down with each of the actors and broke down every single scene with them, and went through all of their we would show clips of inspiration and things that were inspiring and elements that I try to want to capture. So it was always a one-on-one with the actors and then talking it through. But it was more of the crew members at night. We'd get together and we'd watch movies and have movie nights. With the actors, it was always very specific and just specific moments and scenes as opposed to full films.
Were all the crew okay with that? Because horror do you have to love horror to work on a horror movie? Or were they like, thank you for the opportunity, guys. I'd love to come and sit with you at a slumber party, but I'm fucking terrified of horror movies.
Well, funnily enough, it wasn't all straight out horror. We did watch some drama, admittedly. So it was a bunch of different genres. So there were some full blown horrors, but everyone knew what we were there for. So they were keen.
All right, listen, we're talking about cinema, and it's now time to head to our virtual cinema, which is in another dimension, a dimension of pure film. You are our guide. We are your audience. Let's go on a trip to the movies. So we push open the doors to our virtual cinema and find ourselves in the foyer. There's an excited buzz, as there always is in a cinema foyer, the hum of anticipation. It's your perfect trip, guys. Who are you picking, living or dead, to go with you?
Oh my gosh. I know who. Can I bring two people or just one?
I mean, it's normally just one, but I'm feeling like you were up all night working, so I'm gonna let you have two.
My producer Samantha Jennings and my actor Sophie Wilde. I want to bring the two of them.
And I want to bring Israel Adesanya and
come on.
No, what's his name?
Spit it out.
What's his name?
Spit it out.
What's his name?
Spit it out.
Oh my god, Sam Raimi.
All right. Okay. So we've got Samantha Jennings, Sophie Israel, Sophie Wilde, of course, Israel Adesanya, and Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
So yeah,
sounds like a good team. That's a yeah.
That's a hell of a night, and I love the fact I said two and you've picked four, but I guess two each. That works. No, I'm not going to.
One each.
Yeah, one each. You selfish.
Did people get killed off in this? Maybe we can. Yeah.
Sam Raimi, was he someone that you grew up watching a lot of his movies?
Yeah, and Dad was a massive fan of him, so we saw the stuff through him.
It was, like our biggest childhood thing was Spider-Man more than anything. Like
Evil Dead. I remember Evil Dead.
You quote Spider-Man to a T. You know every single line. You will sit up all night with Tamani and rewatch parts and laugh at
Don't tell
second.
Harry. So Dad was a massive fan of Sam Raimi, and so after the film came out, he'd seen it. And then we actually had the opportunity of having dinner with Sam Raimi. And then we sent Dad like a video, and I was like, hey,
look, Sam Raimi, Dad.
We're eating steak with Raimi.
How was that? That must have been nice. I mean, talking about pinch yourself moments earlier, did you have a lot of questions for him about and that bit and that bit and the bit in that and the bit in that and Spider-Man? Do you want to hear a quote?
Oh yeah, we were too specific. We were asking so many questions. And then we didn't believe it was real, so we had to make sure it was real. We got a fork and just stabbed him in the cheek just to make sure he was there.
All right. That is a lovely quartet you're going to the cinema with. I mean, Sophie Wilde, what a performance she gives in your film.
Yes, and it was so funny. I remember we tried to get away and watch a film at one point. I think it was during the press tour, and then we got in, we sat down, we got our popcorn, and then we were just so exhausted. We both really fell asleep in the movie. Not because the movie was bad, but because we were so exhausted. But we really wanted to go to the cinema and watch something together. But yeah, next time.
All right. Well, look, we've got a lovely quartet, as I said. So there's a clock in the wall in the foyer. It reads a specific time. What time of day have we gone to the cinema?
It's a midnight screening, baby. It is a midnight screening. Well, the coolest time to watch a film.
Yeah, they are fun screenings. I mean, they can get pretty riotous, but I guess that's the purpose of cinema, isn't it? It's that communal experience, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, midnight. And you're both happy with midnight? We're agreed on midnight?
Well, I don't want to foyer he's in, but mine... No, I'm happy with midnight. Midnight's good.
Good, because there really is only one virtual cinema. So if you were going at a different time, we'd have to re-record this with two entirely different trips. So I'm glad we can agree on that. Right, you have booked the tickets for our trip. Where in the auditorium are we going to be sitting?
Right at the back, so there's no one behind me, and there's no one too in front of me. I'm in my own space, right at the back. That's my spot.
No, but that spot's usually taken.
What? No,
I'm about 3 rows from the front, and right in the middle there, because everyone's kind of middle and back. I'm more kind of just edging towards the front.
I don't know, this screening at this virtual cinema,
me, Sammy, and Izzy are going to be at the front.
Well, we're going to be in the back, hanging out, having a laugh.
So let me get this right. Michael, you're in the middle, 3 rows from the front. Danny, you're going at the back, right at the back row. Any particular reason you like the back? Because to be honest, you sound a little bit like Jean Reno in Leon, where he's asleep in the chair with a glass of milk next to him and a gun on the arm. Like you can't have anyone behind you. It's like a hitman position.
I have ADD and I tend to rock. So like I even on airplanes, I always go to the very back left part of the plane, that very back corner, so I can rock without bothering anyone. So I just want to have my own little space where I can sort of rock.
You're gonna be bothering your producer and
no, they're used to it. They're so used to it.
All right, and are you, Danny? Are you picking the aisle or are you picking the middle?
They're right in the middle, right
in the middle as well. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so neither of you have that sort of anxiety that some people get about having to push past people if you need the bathroom halfway through a movie. You're cool with that?
I've got the cup, and if I need to go to the toilet, like so be it.
It is.
I never go to the toilet in the cinema ever. Like I if I sit down for the movie, I will make sure I'm ready to just watch the movie.
I have. And it's the worst thing ever.
Shame on you.
Yeah, it's like, no, only once.
How much?
And it was in a very important screening too. And I'm like, I cannot hold this.
Terrible.
This is so good, but I'm dying.
How much of the life of the filmmakers and everyone they put into it, and then you're just gonna go, oh, I'll screw this in. I'm gonna shame on you.
Did you
like schedule toilet breaks beforehand?
Did you feel shame? Did you feel shamed when you had to go to the toilet? Did you feel a lot of eyes on you?
Well, no, there was no one in the cinema.
Okay.
Because it was like, we got an exclusive screening.
I remember this.
Just,
oh my gosh.
Say who.
Oh, why not? Why not let them know?
Okay, go on.
No, Ari Aster organized a private screening of Bella's Afraid, and Michael got up and went to the toilet.
I ran.
I was like, "Are you serious right now?"
And I remember we were talking to Ari about like people going to cinemas during the movie. He's like, "What are you doing during the movie? Like, stop! Don't do that." And I did it. I was like, literally, my gut was like dying. And
I was in shock that he got up, and I was like, "I cannot believe you just did that, man!
Yeah, I felt
you are
ashamed.
pathetic."
I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was only gone for like,
you're a pathetic.
You know what?
Human.
I ran to the door, pissed my pants, and ran back.
All right then. Well, you've got your seats. They're the perfect seats for each of you. The final thing we need before we leave the foyer is snacks. God, there's lovely smells in the foyer. All manner of foodstuffs are available at the various counters. What are you choosing to eat?
The hot popcorn, nice fresh hot popcorn with the Maltesers. You open the pack of Maltesers, put it at the front, and shake it in, and it gets in there. And you just take big that, and then a nice big Coke.
I like definitely a bottle of water and a really disgusting hot dog. One of those gross hot dogs with the cheap bun and the bad sausage and the really crappy paste sauce. No, the cheese, that cheesy pasty cheese. Oh, I love it. That's just, oh, it tastes so good. So bad, but so good. I love
like you're going to a back alley fair or
something. No, I'm telling you, that hot dog it slaps.
Okay.
You know the hot dog I'm talking about, right, Zane?
I know exactly what hot dog you're talking about. And I feel that people are either all in or they will never eat one of those hot dogs. It's like, it's black and white, day and night. There's no middle ground. No one ever goes, maybe I'll try a hot dog today. They know before they even get there.
They're so good.
It always drops. I hate wearing white. I'm not wearing white now, but every time I eat, even if it's not a hot dog, food always gets on me, like a little dot of something. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
I can't stop
just to eat in your mouth. Yeah.
Eat in your mouth. Yeah.
What's lovely here is you've got a really classic order, popcorn and a Coke. I mean, that feels timeless. And then we've got something that's probably only existed for the last 10 years, a shitty hot dog.
Yeah. See, I'm like well-versed in cinema, film knowledge, the timeless truth. Danny, like,
I'm sorry, timeless. 40 years ago, were they putting Maltesers in their popcorn? No, they were not. You fraud. Damn. Why don't you go to the toilet in the middle of your private screening?
What was the first snack in a cinema? Do you know? Come on, Zane, you've done a bunch of these.
Yeah, come on, Zane.
I wish I'd done my research. Thanks for putting me on the spot, guys. That's lovely.
You want us to questions that you didn't look at, mate.
Very good. I imagine popcorn was. I'm going to say popcorn. It must be, but who knows?
Could have been a hot dog. It could have been a hot dog. You don't know that.
I wish I hadn't said timeless.
If it's a hot dog and not popcorn, I'll say it's a horror film.
Oh my gosh! First snack in cinema ever. You ready?
Yep.
It was It doesn't say.
This is the oldest. The Antarctic fruitcake. Oh, no, that's ever discovered, not cinema.
All right, let's not get distracted. We're in the virtual cinema. Yeah, it's time.
I love both your orders. Let's leave the foyer and head towards the auditorium. Now, The corridor to the auditorium, it's looking pretty bare, so I'm going to put up some posters, and these posters depict some of your most important movie memories. And the first poster I'm going to put up depicts your fondest movie memory. What is your fondest memory of being at the movies or watching a movie?
Bugs Life. Oh, yes. I remember the first movie I ever watched in the cinema was Stuart Little. So I think it was a poster of Stuart Little.
No, I think it's just a poster of Bugs Life.
Well, I saw a Stuart Little on that side of the foyer. You can look over there.
Okay.
I mean, there are two walls in this corridor. Just to keep the peace, I can put up both. So Stuart Little was your first movie at the cinema.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept hearing how magical the movies are in the movies. And then we went there. And I was so sure that Stuart was a real dude. And I was a little let down when I'm like, Stuart's not real? A little sad.
So just to sort of join the dots here, roughly how old were you when you thought an animated mouse was potentially a real person?
No, I was young, like 22.
Like 6?
What? Yeah, probably something like that.
I don't know. When did Stuart Little come out?
I don't know.
99?
Was it 99? Stuart Little was 99. I'm sorry. I
mediated the Q&A.
The answer is Arctic fruitcake.
1999. Yeah,
Right.
I would have been like 6, 5 when
And Michael, did you when you saw A Bug's Life, did you think that the bugs might be real people?
No, but maybe sometimes you used to squish ants, and I felt bad after that because I'm like, oh, they have lives.
Michael used to torture animals.
I did not.
Yeah, he used to step on ants and be like step on them. He was. Cruel.
I didn't actually. Like, I'd step on an ant. I'd be like, I killed it, and then I'm like, do I feel bad about that? Because I didn't know it was a kid. Then I watched A Bug's Life. I'm like,
you felt bad.
I feel bad.
Yeah,
because I just killed Flick.
The power of cinema. That's beautiful. It changed you. It made you realize that ants.
It gave him humanity.
Yeah. All right. I'm putting up posters for Stuart Little and A Bug's Life. The next poster I'm putting up depicts your worst movie memory.
2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We got taken to the cinemas to watch it by a lady that I don't know why she was taking us.
Because she's awesome.
And I was watching it and I got so scared. It was the first time I'd ever truly been scared watching a film because she gets thrown down like I still haven't watched it to this day because I told myself, I'm never going to watch that movie again. I still haven't watched it. But she gets thrown down this like basement and then like her friend's down there hanging, with one leg over a piano. And he's like, kill me. And she's like, no, I want to get you off. She tries to pick him up and he like, she slips and he gets stuck further. And he's like, kill me.
Michael was such
she
a
starts
coward.
stabbing him. And I'm like, I felt sick. I had physically sick. And then Leatherface coming down the stairs. I'm out of here.
Oh, he's such a loser. Like I was, again, it's so embarrassed that he left the cinema because I told Jenny, I'm like, it was our dad's friend. And then she would take us to the MA movies. I'm like, we can watch this. We're old enough. We're mature enough. And then Michael running away from the cinema. I'm like, why'd you do that? No.
Yeah, and at the counter, the lady's like, are you sure you want to bring them in? She's like, yeah.
They're
fine.
fine.
Be fine.
And
like,
I was fine.
And then I went in, and then she saw me run out.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
So you what happened? So you run out, and the guardian, who is in charge of your responsibility, like you have left the cinema. Does she follow you? Does she stay in the?
She does not care. She knows.
I left into the hallway, right, and I was sitting in the hallway by myself, and the empty hallway of the cinema. How you walk in, and I was just sitting there, and then I looked over, and there was a person. I swear this is real. It was standing at the other end of the hallway, looking at me, and I was just sitting there, and he started walking towards me. Right. And then he started jogging towards me, like running. And I ran back into the cinema, like back into the room. And then it was like chainsaw sounds. So I was kind of in that, like in between when you first walk in, and I was just sitting there, like, hid behind a bin with my ears closed. And Jenny didn't come.
My God. Genuinely, that sounds like one of the worst movie experiences I can imagine. Trapped between a movie that has scared you to death and a stranger running at you in a corridor. Jesus fucking Christ.
Cuddled next to a bin, and the bin felt really comforting because it was like I could be hidden between both,
So you spent a movie huddled by a bin in a cinema. That's upsetting.
About 25 minutes, I want to say. About 30 minutes, yeah.
I'm guessing the same isn't your worst movie memory, Danny?
I mean, yeah, because I was embarrassed that he ran out like that. And like Jenny, I said that we were ready.
She took us to all the horror films. And
Michael
that
did
was
not
the
come
last.
again. Yeah, Michael did not come again.
That was the last that was the last that she took us to.
No, I kept going. I watched House of Wax with her.
So did I.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
All right, we're putting up on both walls a picture of 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre for different reasons: fear and embarrassment. So our third poster depicts the last performance that brought you to tears. I mean, do you cry? Is this rare, or is this something?
Yes. I love crying in a movie. I love it. I think the last time I cried in a film was probably Jojo Rabbit. Was the last time I cried. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's an effective film. I think I cried in that.
Yeah.
Which bit though? Which bit made you cry?
Well, I don't want to do any spoilers, but it was something to do with shoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. That's good. Yeah. That's spoiler free, but those who've seen it will go, of course, the shoes.
Yeah.
Mine was, what's the one about the death metal band?
Oh, yeah.
The documentary.
Lords of Chaos.
Oh.
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos, the film, and it has Rory Culkin. Is it
Rory Culkin?
So the film was like, I don't know, it's like, it's good, but I thought his performance though was amazing, and he plays a character that's like in a world, but he's not really part of that world. Like, he's like kind of for the fun of like being like a death metal artist or whatever, but he's like with like the real deal like fucking killers, like the murderers. And there's a part where he's getting stabbed. And he's trying to still like we can use this as a front, and like he's trying to get out of like being murdered. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, it felt so real, that scene. And he's getting stabbed and like trying to be, oh, it's okay. I find it so
it was a good scene. It was a good scene.
Because I think it just takes back to some things in the childhood where it's like, oh, you're pretending to be something that you're not, and then you get confronted. You're like, I don't know.
Michael was a fraud.
It was sad. I wasn't. I was the one doing the stabbing.
All right, a poster for Lords of Chaos and a poster for Jojo Rabbit on each of your individual walls. The final poster before we get into the auditorium depicts your unpopular movie opinion. What is your unpopular movie opinion?
Mouse Hunt is a great film.
You know what? I'm going to second that. And I agree. Mouse Hunt is a great film.
Bill Hinsman, we were talking about films and like guilty pleasures.
Hmm.
And then I said Mouse Hunt, and he was so disgusted by it. And I said, what? It's like, again, it's a nostalgic thing. It was like,
no, not even a nostalgic thing. The practical effects in Mouse Hunt are incredible. And the comedy and the slapstick and how like
slapstick humor. And then you look at the reviews, the Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like 9% or something bad like that. It's a great movie.
It was a very fun film.
So this is the Nathan Lane, Lee Evans comedy where they've got a house that they want to sell, and then the mouse they can't evict the mouse, and it ends with that amazing destruction of the entire mansion.
Yes. And at the end, he's like, "This house will stand forever," and then it just implodes.
It's so fun, and there's so many amazing practical slapstick. It's like a live action cartoon. It's incredible.
I didn't realize. I think you're right, though. I'm thinking back. It did get some sniffy reviews at the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same as Home Alone, like got like bad reviews because they're like, this isn't.
It did not get bad reviews.
Home Alone 2, they said this isn't Looney Tunes. You can't have kids throwing bricks on people's faces. It was like Looney Tunes, but in real like slapstick in real life, and like people like things that would kill people and like saying it's fun. For kids.
It is fun.
That's a great film too.
I love
Marv getting lectured.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, if people watch this haven't seen the film, like, want to watch a fucking horror film?
You can tell we're really versed in cinema.
I just got a little thank you to the PR Chris, who's just put a message on saying 35% is what Rotten Tomatoes gave Home Alone 2. So
and while we're waiting, Chris, what did they give Mouse Hunt.
Mouse Hunt.
Yeah, let's continue. We'll have the
have them take care of that.
They'll take care of that.
We'll take care of that. Find that out, will you, Chris? All right, next question.
44%.
44%. Better than Home Alone 2. That's pretty good. Damn.
Yeah, it's still not great. I don't think that's fresh. So I think you were totally valid in having Mouse Hunt. How did you describe it? A work of art, a masterpiece? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I forgot already. I'd say a timeless classic.
A timeless classic. Right. That's our final poster. That is for Mouse Hunt. Right. Let's get into the auditorium now. There is a queue of people who'd love to join yourself and your 4 guests in the cinema. Do you want to let them in? Do you want a busy cinema, or would you like it just the six of you?
Depends on what we're watching.
No, it depends on where they're sitting. Like I love a communal experience. I love watching so many people and having everyone react and having
If they're not
fun.
sitting near you.
Just I don't want them next to me. Like we want to be out in our own little space. There needs to be a seat between us.
Yeah, I feel like kind of everyone, but you know, we're there with the Stylebender, and we're there with Raimi. So that's going to take away. Like it's going to be a private screening.
No,
maybe.
I think that we want a communal. That's the point of going to the cinema.
No, but then you're like saying, "Oh, I want a communal," but you're in a bubble, like no one can touch you.
No,
Like, I'm facing the danger, but you're wrapped in glad wrap.
I think there's going to be a fight that breaks out in the auditorium between myself and Michael, and yeah.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
wonder who's going to me and my guests, you and your guests. The one who's looking through
I not that I'm just trying to, be the UN in this scenario, but shall we create a buffer zone between your seats and the back seats and have like half the people in?
You know what? My half, I want everyone in. Let's do it. The fam. Why not? Hey,
I agree.
You agree now?
Let the whole bloody place in.
Depends what. Yeah.
Personally, as long as I've got a vantage point of throwing my Coke at the back of Michael's head.
You want to hit everyone.
I guess as soon as Michael gets up to go to the toilet, I'm going to throw things at him.
Well, let's not forget you are holding a cup of pee potentially, so that's quite a threat.
Yes, and someone's going to start talking, and I'm going to say, "Hey, quiet it down, will you?" So I want that to happen in the movie as well. I want to yell at someone.
That makes you sound like an old man, and coupled with holding a cup of pee, that's like, you young people, I've had to pee in a cup.
Stop having fun, will you?
We're in the cinema. You've got your snacks and breakfast as well now. It's a melding of virtual and real. So the first thing I'm going to play on the big screen is a trailer for the movie you are most looking forward to seeing at the cinema. What are you most looking forward to seeing?
The Israel Adesanya documentary. I'm looking forward to Barbieheimer. I am looking forward to Barbieheimer. A little bit of both. I know it opens. We're pretty much there. Our competition, but I'm down for Barbieheimer.
It's not a competition. These are our like peers.
No, they want to bury you. They don't want anyone to go watch your film. They want to bury you.
They want to drop a nuke on us.
They want to drop a nuke on you.
I feel like you're being very plastic right now.
Sorry, that was not good.
That was good. And then mine's the Stylebender documentary. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, that's great. I love it. So you've got the documentary, Israel Adesanya documentary, and you're watching both Barbie and Oppenheimer. Barbieheimer.
I'm in.
Oh, I'm watching, or is it a trailer?
Oh yeah, it's a trailer. It's a trailer. So you're playing. Oh my God, I forgot. You're absolutely right. Thank you for picking me up on that, Michael. Yeah.
Virtual reality. Is there a lag here or something?
Yeah, what?
We're glitching.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say Barbieheimer, are you literally doing a mashup of the Barbie trailer and Oppenheimer? Because I'd pay to see that.
I'd watch that as well. It's such a it's a trailer for Barbieheimer. I'm in.
Okay. All right. Lovely. People won't know until they've seen it. Is that right, Ken? I love it. It's brilliant. That unholy
one for the Stylebender.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, well, but I haven't seen the trailer for it. Can you tell me about it? Tell me about it then. Educate me.
Today, mate.
Actually, there isn't a trailer yet for it, so you're a liar.
I guess it's a premiere. Look at that, bangs.
Yeah.
What's it about though? This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Tell me about it.
The UFC fighter has a documentary on his life.
Oh, okay.
He's a modern day living legend. It's very cool.
Okay, brilliant.
And he's got a doco coming out about his life. He's fascinating. He's awesome. He's so cool. He's awesome.
Okay.
We met him once. Good to hang out with him. All right. He's at the cinema. Yeah, Sam.
Just to paint a picture for you why this might not be on my radar. The last time I heard about UFC was when it started and someone went, there are no rules apart from eye gouging and fish hooking. Is that still a thing?
I think there's a few more rules.
There's more rules now.
Okay.
It's more like it's like a sport now. It's not like a full. It's still gladiator, but there's rules. There's rules.
All right. All right. Good.
No, but eye gouge.
Hi.
My knowledge of UFC extends as far as the film Warrior, which I very much enjoyed.
Oh, it was a good film. I like that ending. Is so incredible. That song. Oh, what an ending.
Yeah, fight him without an arm. He just won't give up, will it? He just won't give up. He won't give up. No, right then, let's carry on though. The next thing I'm playing on the screen is the movie moment that makes you literally or metaphorically pump your fist in the air.
This isn't me personally, but I was in a room once when that character in The Mist gets shot in the head.
Oh my God. You mean, yeah, the end of The Mist, one of the most shocking endings of any movie ever.
Yeah, when he shoots his child.
My fist is in the air, and I'm like,
and then he's got the gun in his mouth and he's like,
no. There's a character in that is like turning everyone against them.
The radical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was in the cinema with people there, and like the whole cinema like cheered, and I was like, "Whoa, someone just died!" Whoa. So yes. I remember that big moment for everyone. A fist pump moment. I think my fist pump is when he kills his family in the car. I'm gonna put my fist up on it.
I mean, you went from genuinely a really good one to one that is troubling, to say the least. I can't remember that character's name. Mrs. Something. She's awful. Yeah. But fine.
She has this amazing line. She has this amazing line in the movie when someone's like, "Everyone needs a friend. I'll be a friend." And she's like, "When I want a friend like you, I'll have myself a nice little squat and shit one out."
Yeah. Okay, but you're not picking that. You're picking Thomas Jane killing his family at the end.
This is comedy.
This is comedy.
Thank you, Chris. Mrs. Comedy. Yeah. All right. Do you want that, or do you want the dead kids? There's a question.
Kids. It was everyone. It was one kid and all of his friends.
And 2 elderly.
Yeah. He really. That's a fist pump moment. Yeah, I'm in.
All right, good stuff. How about you, Michael? Are you going to jump on this weird bandwagon?
I might stay away from that one. Like a fist bump. Like woo. Probably.
This is why they sent you the questions beforehand.
I know. Probably no. I
can't
go too dark.
Say something more.
Oh my God. If you want to pass, you can pass on this one.
American Psycho, and he drops the chainsaw. It's like, and it lands on someone who's running away. In American Psycho.
Yeah. When she's escaped.
And like not like a good. It's like kind of like, you got him, but it was a bad.
What about when Dumbledore gets killed? I remember you sharing of that in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Can it be from a game?
No, we're cinema. Talk about movies.
No, but it's turning into a TV show.
No.
When Joel dies, I don't know what this cinema. We're in virtual reality. Another dimension. We're in another dimension. That game is a movie. The game's a movie.
Next question.
Joel gets killed at the beginning with a golf club, and literally that was when I was like, it was like a fist bump. I was throwing my control.
Do you?
Oh my God.
I hate that moment in Last of Us. The Last of Us 2. I'm like, you've just.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's
okay.
good. It made you appreciate every moment with Joel after that. I believe. I had to defend you, Neil Druckmann. Is it Druckmann? Last of Us, Naughty Dog. We love you. Let's continue, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. It sort of seems kind of weird that this should be the next question, considering the moments you picked for fist pumping moments. But next, we're going to play what you consider cinema's most shocking moment. We've already used up Joel's death in The Last of Us, a chainsaw on a woman fleeing a psychopath, and a man killing his family in a car just before the mist clears. So, what on earth could be your most shocking moment?
Oh, well, obviously, like it still has like Exorcist's crucifix scene. Like every time, it's like holy beep. Am I right? That definitely, I think it's like one of the most shocking scenes in cinema history.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that, Danny. Michael?
Mine was probably In the Mist when he gets saved.
When the army turn up and the mist clears. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not because he gets away, not because he gets to survive.
In cinema history?
In cinema history?
He's saying in cinema history.
It's not a bad one. A lot of people were broken by that. It's just the timing. It's like the final bullet goes off and then they're like, hey, it's all right. We got rid of the monsters. How you doing?
I think in that moment, that's when my fist was pumping the hardest.
Right. The mist clearing at the end of the mist. Okay. Now we're going to play through the big Dolby Atmos speakers the line of dialogue from a movie that most affected you. Is there a line in a movie that most affected you?
I'm not going home. Not really.
Wait. I know that. What's that from?
What?
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and the Goblet of Fire.
Is it? It's Harry Potter.
It's Lord of the Rings and the Goblet of Fire.
Don't, just because I didn't know about Stylebender doesn't mean I'm going to fall for that.
It's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
No, it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. No, the most affecting though. Oh, let me think of this. This is why you asked us to review the questions. We should have been on this.
These are great questions.
These are good questions.
Yeah,
we're so on the spot that we just no. Oh, I'd probably be in Stuart Little. That's no mouse. That's my brother. No, I'm gonna go over the Harry Potter line.
I like it. All right. Michael, do you concur?
I concur.
All right, fine. So, penultimate question. We're nearly there. What is, in your opinion, the best use of music in a movie?
Ooh.
One pops to my mind recently that, I'm just going to say it from, what's it called? What's Steven Spielberg's latest film?
The Fablemans.
The Fablemans.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the footage, and the mum's playing the piano, and he's going through the footage, and it's like starts with like a beautiful tune, and then it starts like getting more like sinister as he's like figuring out, oh, she's got a thing with the friend, and then the camera was like moving around like with him. And then, like, when he turned it the other way, it'd come back out around the other way. And then the music was, like, changing. And the mum's sitting there, like, with the dad. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's a good recent one.
So good.
That was good. That was good score.
Love
for sure.
That. Love that.
Yeah.
But I reckon is probably 2001 Space Odyssey when the monkey gorilla smashes for the first time. And it plays also Sparsh Zathura. Is it Zathurster? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, the monkey gorilla smashes. Great, love it. That's two good choices. I feel that Michael, you snaffled up both of those. So there you go, Danny. You don't get one. Right, here we are.
Stop trying to wrap up this interview.
Right. Ooh, where are we now? Okay, good. We've arrived. It's time to announce to your excited 4 guests and the audience in this packed auditorium the movie or movies you have decided to screen for us tonight out of all other films. What are we watching for our double bill?
Oh, 2 films. We are going to watch Memories of Murder and The Vanishing.
Memories of Murder.
No, that's a double bill. You've done triple. Stop adding answers.
And Onibaba.
You stop adding answers. You picked yours.
And Throne of Blood.
You've picked yours.
I've got...
And Le Passé.
And Talk to Me.
The pen has touched the paper and it's already written Memories of Murder and The Vanishing. So tell me, first of all, when you first saw Memories of Murder, where were you? What was the experience like?
It literally just in my bedroom. And I was like, I forgot I was in my bedroom. I was transported. And it's so, whoa. Yeah, just would have been in our bedroom.
I don't remember really. I don't remember where it was because in my mind, I was in Korea investigating a serial killer on the loose. That's how engulfed I was.
Yes.
And then there's that scene where they're going around like they've got the evidence and everyone keeps like trampling over the evidence.
Okay.
Great film. You gotta check it out. You've seen it, right?
I actually haven't seen it, so I'm going on this journey with you.
You gotta watch it. You
Yeah.
gotta he's like afraid you're gonna snap.
You've been kicked out of the cinema.
No.
You're done.
Get to the cinema to watch it.
That would be really cruel to screen it and then tell me to leave because I am in the cinema with you. So
because you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's like he's come to watch it and you're kicking him out because he hasn't seen it.
All right, and The Vanishing. Tell me when you first saw The Vanishing.
The Vanishing, I think it was that magical thing. It was raining outside and we were watching it with the crew in pre-production for Talk to Me. So it was just like that whole thing. It always felt like everyone were like, because in Adelaide, I've got like film friends, but like not many. And then so like to be with all these like film lovers and all these people that I just look up to so much and respect, like my production designer, Bethany Ryan, my DOP, Aaron McCliskey, Samantha Jennings, like all sitting together while it's raining outside in this little back pool house. Oh, it's just the best movie experience. It was so cool. Michael wasn't there. He was a week late to pre-production of Talk to Me.
Because he was in Hawaii.
He was in Hawaii.
But because of good reasons. I was researching things, yeah. But anyway, he asked me, he wanted a one-sentence answer. You gave him a fucking novel. Let's continue. Oh, we're ending. I
was going to say a magical ending. Yeah.
It was a very magical ending. It was beautiful prose. I felt transported to that the what did you call it? A pool house? What was it? An outhouse?
No, you've been transported outside of the cinema. You're still not allowed in.
You vanished like a
Fine. Well, okay, fine. I'll just watch it at home. I don't mind. Right. That's it then. Michael, Danny, the curtains have closed. The guests are milling out, smiling, chatting, and thanking you for taking them on an incredible night out at the movies. But before you go, it's time for this week's mystery question as we ask, what's in the box? Okay. I've opened the box. The question is, so there has been talk of you directing the new Street Fighter movie. If that happens, do you have an idea of how you'd approach that film?
We would copy the original version from, what year was it?
1994.
The Van Damme. We would copy it frame by frame. That was our pitch to the room. Like that movie, we're gonna redo it frame by frame.
And to you, it was a big question, but to us, it was Tuesday.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine because obviously, I mean, look, that word, the words that are bandied around quite a lot, where something wasn't popular at the time, and just because like 20 years have passed, people go, it's now a cult classic. But with that movie, there's a lot of love for it, and then you've got the animated one, which obviously takes everything a lot more seriously.
You know, the way we actually have been approaching it is looking at, all the games and looking at the things that inspired the games, where the games came from, the people, because, some of the characters are based on real people as well. Like Sagat is based on a real person in Thailand that still trains people. So I went to Thailand because I heard like a flicker of where he was, and I went bounce around these Muay Thai camps trying to find him. And then by camp 6, I found Sagat.
No way.
Yeah. And I trained with Sagat, and then
I've got to show him a quick clip. This is awesome. You'll love this.
Oh wait.
Oh, this is an exclusive.
Holy shit!
There's this level in the Street Fighter game. You know this level?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
It is a real place, and Michael found it.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You
found it, Michael.
I found it on like Google. And then in a taxi and said, "Hey, can we go here?" I wasn't really trekking through the
but
mountains.
He did check and he did find Sagat.
I did trek through the mountains to find Sagat though.
That is great.
Was
was it worth it? Was it good to actually meet Sagat in the flesh?
Yeah. Very different to the game.
You hope so, probably.
Visually.
Right.
But it was awesome. And it was like an awesome experience training with him. He had some interesting ways of...
Oh my God, imagine having a budget a big ass budget for big ass action scenes. Oh, I'm in heaven.
Imagine being working with Legendary on Street Fighter, and that's where you can get the budget, man. Yeah, like, so we're looking at the things, the roots behind Street Fighter. That's the way we're approaching it right now.
Yeah. But like and design set pieces that have never been seen before, and like the whole idea of it is so exciting. Because even on our YouTube stuff, we were designing rigs and stunt rigs that had never been done before. And so like the idea of actually having a budget and being able to pull that off at like a proper scale is, man.
Yeah, and kind of bring that kinetic energy to it as well. And then try and do justice to a game turned to film, because it is hard to do. It is so hard to do. And Street Fighter is difficult as well. So it's a hard nut to crack. And I just hope we do justice to the fans. That's the main thing for me. The audience, of course, you want to be for a worldwide audience, but it's like you can't ignore the fans. Like that's the people that, you know, they're the original lovers of the game. That's where it comes from.
People do the highest experience, and everyone's like, "What? That movie blew my mind."
While doing justice to the game. Anyway.
I'm really excited for you guys. That sounds really, really exciting, and well done on meeting Sagat as well. That is it then. My God. The taxi has arrived to ferry you back to reality. But before you go, let's recap your perfect night out at the cinema. You were going with Samantha Jennings, Sophie Wilde, Israel Adesanya, and Sam Raimi to a midnight screening. Michael is going to be sitting in the middle, 3 rows from the front. Danny's going to be at the back, also in the middle, potentially holding a cup of tea. We don't know yet. We are putting on for you as snacks hot popcorn with Maltesers thrown in and a Coke for you, Michael. Danny's having a bottle of water and a hot dog with that cheesy gloop on it. We're walking down the corridor. Your fondest movie memories. For Danny, it was A Bug's Life. For Michael, it was Stuart Little. Or was that the other way round? That was the other way round. The other way round. The other way round. 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. For Michael is the worst movie memory he's had. And also for Danny, because he was embarrassed when Michael left the cinema. The last performance that brought you to tears, Rory Culkin in Lords of Chaos for Michael, and Jojo Rabbit Shoes for Danny. The final poster depicts your unpopular movie opinion, and you agreed that Mouse Hunt is a timeless classic. You are letting the audience in to have a communal experience. The movies you are most looking forward to seeing were playing trailers for Stylebender and Barbieheimer. The movie that makes you pump your fist in the air. For Michael, it is dropping a chainsaw on a woman while naked apart from sneakers in American Psycho. Danny, it's the killing of his family in The Mist. The shocking moment is The Mist when he saved for Michael at the very end, having killed his family and friends. Danny, it's the crucifix scene in The Exorcist. The line of dialogue is, "I'm not going home. Not really." From a Harry Potter movie. You both agreed on that one. The best use of music in a movie is the gorilla smashing someone with a bone in 2001, or The Fabelmans, where he's watching his mum play piano. Then we are exiting the cinema to a double bill of Memories of Murder and The Vanishing. Those were your trips to the movies. Have you had a good time?
Maybe there was a bit of vodka in my drink or something.
I think we were very drunk.
I don't know if I agree with those completely.
We don't know what we were saying. It was glitching. The virtual cinema was glitching. We were drunk and we don't know what we were saying.
Yeah, that's not necessarily what it was, because we are in another dimension. So.
And we did land in London and we're jet lagged. We apologize for any weird
That sounds like the worst answers to any kind of story ever. And if I was walking down that hallway, I'd turn around and walk straight back out.
Thank you so much. Great work on Talk to Me. It's out at the end of the month here in the UK. Thanks again, guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it Sunday?